Hi, fellow traders. I hope everybody had a great day today. I know I had a hell of a lot better day than I did yesterday. But one of the good things is I didn't bring all that baggage and all of that stress and the headache from yesterday into today. So that's why I put this quote up here. Don't let yesterday take up too much of today. Because all we did this morning was I talked about what I did wrong, the adjustments that I was going to make, and we had to talk about the stop because it was on our scan. It was one or two stocks that was on our scan that met our parameters. So we had to talk about it. But I didn't let what happened yesterday take up too much time this morning. We got locked and loaded, and then we moved on. So just wanted to share that with you. And it's the end of the month again, so obviously I've got some traders that are moving on, some that have changed membership status. So I have openings for the Roadmap to Success program, or it's a special. It's not really it's a program, but it's for everybody. This is just a special offer that I have where you get mentoring, and because I do one-on-one mentoring, I have to limit how many I can take on. So you get 6 months for $249. You get 6 months access to everything, all inclusive. The education room, which is the chat room, all of the videos, all of the live classes that I do every week on Sundays and on Wednesdays. You get an hour of mentoring a month that you could break up 15 minutes a week. I do some 15 minutes a week. I do some 30 minutes twice a month, and then an hour for a month. But got that open right now. So we did get this late yesterday, that the suspension was lifted and Suretrader would resume normal operations today. Worked like a charm. They still haven't shared what the problem was, but what kind of put something in the back of my head is that they got a court order. Now, the suspension was supposed to be lifted after today. So why go to court and get it lifted a day early? There has to be something else. And my buddy, I just have to wait for him. I'm not going to keep bothering him. He's working with his house. He's got his property to deal with. And I can't imagine how much of a mess that is down there. So, he's dealing with that. But whenever I find out something, I will share it. But the good thing is, they're going to help if you were in a position. And a lot of people were worried about this, that if they were in a position and they couldn't get out, they couldn't do anything, they're going to help you out. They're going to work it out. I don't have any doubt that they're going to take care of you. But the other thing that I really like is that trade commissions and withdrawal fees will be waived. I'm not going to have a whole lot of money to take out at the end of this month, but not to have to pay that fee is going to be nice. And I don't want to, I know there's a lot of people that's probably pulling their $2 out, but I don't want to get caught up in that. So I don't mind waiting a week to take out my monthly gains, but I'm glad I won't be charged for that. And then the commissions are going to be free. So I'm ready for that. But we got our first email. The very first email since all of this happened And it's a nice email. It's reiterating the fact that commissions are not going to be charged, and they're explaining how this works. Now, I already knew how it worked because I get $1 off per trade. So my commissions are $3.95 versus $4.95, but the platform, they don't change the platform. So some people have $1.95, some people have $2.95, which I hope to get to here really soon. $3.95 like me, and then some have $4.95. If you've been with them long enough and you have proven yourself to be, a consistent trader, they're going to take care of you. So, it just takes time, as with anything else. But I was pleasantly surprised to see this. And they explain that, okay, the platform's going to show $4.95, but that's all going to come off at the end of the day. So really happy to see that. So this thing should be done and over with, and we should be back to business as normal. All right, so you guys that were on the live stream this morning, you got to see this trade live. You got to see how I found the stock. You got to see how we vetted it, and then how we waited. We were patient and didn't jump on the first move. We kind of waited and allowed the stock to settle down, because this stock, every stock that we were looking at had a little spread to it. So OSTK had a little spread. KMX had a little spread. ROKU didn't really have that big of a spread, but I'm not day trading that. All day hold is where I'm going with that. But you got to see the whole process. And this is what I do every day in the community. Every morning, I'm on live, I'm streaming at 8:30, and we're building a watch list, and then you watch me trade the same strategies that I'm teaching, the same strategies that are in the classes. And as you learn how to read price action, you learn how to make the adjustments that I make sometimes. Sometimes good, sometimes bad. But it's all a process. So I'm glad you guys got to hang out. And okay, here's the 5-minute opening range low. That's the 5-minute opening range breakout or breakdown is what I trade every day. I don't care if I go through 2, 3 days, 4 days, and they just don't work. And then I have to make up the money on trend continuation. That's fine. I'm going to be consistent with my strategies. Now, sometimes, like today, you just have to be a little patient when you're dealing with levels around where you would get in. But you just be patient and nail the entry. And every time you get in, like I said when we got in, most of the time when you get in, it's going to go the other way. If you're long, it's going to pull back. If you're short, it's going to pop a little bit. It just does. So you can't let that work your nerves and then you just stop out and then hear the trade works. You can't do that. Trust the setup, trust the strategy, allow it to hit your targets. Now, this came really close. And if I had been watching my P&L, I probably would have taken this off. Okay, and we're going to talk about that problem here in a minute. Because several people were fussing because they took the trade off because this bounced. And I asked them. The ones that were honest told me, yeah, I was watching my P&L. They were honest about it and said, yeah, that's what it was. I can't tell you enough to stop watching your P&L. And we're going to go over some ways to stop watching it here in a minute. But that cost them this big trade. Now, we were small size. So, obviously, this wasn't that big of a trade. I think we made almost $300 on this. Or maybe 265, 275, something like that. Which is really nice. You're dealing with a small account, trading only 200 shares, and you almost make $300 on a trade. That is not bad. And then you got, when we waited for the trend continuation. So while you guys were still on live stream, I was trying to wait. It just wasn't happening. And so eventually it broke this level. This was the key level that we were looking at. Once it broke it, I was all on it. That was the plan. Now everybody is like, a price, what price? Who gives a shit about a price? It's the levels. It's the technical levels that we're looking for. So I don't care about a price. I care about the level. And once we got through that level and we made a new low off of that level, I know this came down, but I was looking at this candle. We broke that, so I got in. First target was going to be the 50-day. This is the 50-day from the daily chart, this yellow line here. I had my target on the 20-day on this first move, but we sold through it. So I was thinking, damn, I should have put it on the 50. So I put it on the 50 this time, and we got it, but we got the bounce. And here, even though we had a higher low here, I didn't take it off because we were still under the 9 right here. But I couldn't let this go beyond break even. So it did stop me out break even. It rejected the 9 all the way. And then we came all the way back down. Now, this is what kind of got me messed up. And there's no fault of my own. This was a perfect entry based on what I was doing. If I hadn't got stopped out here, I definitely would have taken some profit. Wouldn't have had to give anything back. Could have easily had a $400 day. But it didn't work out that way. Getting stopped out here. And then this stopped me out. It started to work, but here we got a higher low here. And I probably could have taken it off earlier, around 85, to save me some profit. But I didn't. I was just kind of being stubborn and let it hit my max stop. That was the line in the sand up here, 85.50. So gave back a little bit more profit on this than I wanted to, but we were dealing with low volume conditions, and it's not ideal to trade when the volume is this low. I anticipated getting more volume coming out of lunch, where we did get a little bit. But if you're not trading over 50,000 shares per 5-minute candle, you can get mess like this. And so, that was the end of the day. But I'm happy. The setups were there. The only thing that was lacking was volume. But the way this traded, I wasn't really concerned about it so much. But still, 162.42. We're going to get this back. So technically I had a $200 day. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Should have been a $400 day, but that's trading. You trade, you ride the horse until you throw it off. Now, if I took a bad trade, I could slap myself on the wrist. The only thing I could look at that I probably should have done different is kill the trade here once we broke this high, right around 85. But hey, we live to fight another day. All right, so how are you going to stop watching your P&L? Number one, the reason why you watch your P&L is because you haven't accepted the fact that losses are going to occur no matter what. You just saw a solid setup solid trend continuation, entry, and it didn't work. It ran out of steam. I accept the loss, and it's part of trading. You ride the horse until it bucks you off. All right. Did I give it too much room? Yeah, I gave it a little bit too much room. But I'm okay with that. I'm okay with the loss. I learn and I move on. Another reason is you want to feel in control. We want to control stuff that we have no business trying to control. We can't control the movement of our P&L. So why sit there and watch it thinking that you're controlling it? You're not. You're trading the P&L versus trading your chart. And you have to trade your chart. Okay, you got to trade your chart. All right, so I know and I've always said, you control what you want. We can control the things that surround our trading plan, how we implement our trading plan. We can control that. We control whether we enter a stock or not. We don't control whether the stock triggers, but we control how we react to it. We control how we execute our trade plan. That's what we have control over. The P&L has nothing to do with that. So we shouldn't be watching it. Also, we don't want to give back money. We don't want to admit, and here's a bad word, we don't want to admit that we're wrong. Just because the trade doesn't work doesn't mean we're wrong. You cannot put right and wrong to winning trade, losing trade. If you do that, it causes you to want to watch your P&L. Because it's like, if I'm green, I'm going to not be green. I'm going to not be green. If it starts not to look right, I'm going to take it off. And then the trade eventually works. And you're sitting there kicking yourself because you could have been making this money. Just like, some of you guys did on KMX this morning. It's why you don't want to watch a P&L. Greed. And this gets me too. I'm not watching my P&L, but greed causes me to change my targets. Just like you'll see in a minute on ROKU when we talk about it, how I moved my target and I really shouldn't have. I did that before last week and gave back a little bit of profit. But, greed is something that will cause you to not want to give back money and not accept loss and just try to take every little penny here and there. You're not letting the trade work. You're cutting yourself short. And also, you have a minimum daily goal to reach. I think that's the worst idea you can have. Real traders, real professional day traders do not have monetary goals that they try to reach every day. They may have monthly goals. They may, like me, I have a quarterly goal and I have a yearly goal of where I would want to be. But I can't control that. All I can do is come in the market every day and try to execute at 150%. That's all I can do. Come in and focus on my execution because that's all I can control. Focus on my execution. And part of my execution is reading price action. Understanding what's happening in the trade. That's what we have control over. So that's what we need to focus on. All right, so some of the solutions. Here's the most simple one. Hide your damn P&L. Hide it. Some people try it and they just have to have it back. And it causes you all kind of issues. But hide your P&L. I know it just masked the problem at first. And we're going to talk about some other solutions that can help you not want to see your P&L. But the easiest thing you can do is just hide it so you don't see it. And you trade the chart, not the movement in your P&L. Again, you want to accept and understand loss. Understand why loss has happened. They happen because there's no way anybody can predict with any degree of certainty whether a stock's going to go up or down. Okay, we're just trying to be on the right side of probability. And we have strategies that we employ in the market to help give us that edge. But it doesn't work every time. So we have to understand we have to accept that loss. And we need to understand why we can't control that market. I know some people, and like me, when I first came in, I was going to find a strategy that produced no losses. I was going to be that guy. But of course, that was a foolish thing to think about. All right, so focus on executing the plan. Remember, yesterday we talked about focus. Where our focus goes, our energy flows. If our focus is on executing, that's where our energy is going to flow. And executing means focusing on the chart, focusing on the price action, watching your stock hit your targets. Now, if you need to, set it and forget it. Okay? If you need to, set it and forget it. Because as we focus on the execution, we're focusing on the price action. If you know that the price action, it just agitates you, it just gets you to where you just can't think, set it and forget it. Set your stop, set your profit target, and let the trade go. Now, you may be in with too much share size. Your position size may be too large and it's causing you to be uncomfortable. If that's the case, you got to reduce your position size and gradually build yourself up. That's kind of what I had to do. So, these are things, hopefully this helped you out. Those of you that are struggling to stop watching your P&L, hopefully this made sense and it helps you get over that. All right, once again, don't forget about our special $249 for 6 months, and you get 100% access to everything and mentoring every month. So if you have any questions, make sure you check me out. Shoot me an email, ed@AverageJoeTrader.com. I'll be glad to talk to you. All right, so ROKU. Now, those of you that come in the morning that aren't there in the morning, I cover this in the morning. I talk about what I'm looking for. And I know some of you don't come in, and you may come in 5 minutes before the bell, and you don't get to hear my take on stuff. I don't have time to type out my thoughts and my ideas. That's why I'm on audio. I don't have time to type out my trades and stuff. That's why I'm streaming live. And my swing trades and these all-day holds, they don't move so fast. So when I get a minute, I'll type my entry in. But it's not going to be as soon as I do it. My focus is on day trading. So in the mornings, I'm going to give you the plan. I'm going to give you what my thoughts are, what I'm looking for, and you guys have to execute. Now, I'm going to tell you when I'm taking it. I'm going to tell you I'm trying it here. I'm getting in here and I'm looking for, 100. That was the goal this morning. And we talked about it and all of that. So, and the profit targets. And we lay out where the profit target is going to be. Here's where, we bounced the other day off around this 103 level that I didn't take profit on and ended up giving some back. So, of course, I was going to take some here at around 103. So we got that. My final target was 100. That's the bounce part. The bounce spot. This is where everybody and their mama was calling on the bounce. that everybody's going to buy it at 100. This is where the bounce is coming in. You can see it reacted. People did try to buy it. And then we had more sellers. And eventually we had this big sell-off. So maybe 108.50 was where everybody, 98.50 was where everybody wanted to buy. Because it came all the way down. What I messed up on is I should have just taken everything off here. That was my plan. And you guys saw me take my order off and put it in for half and then let the other half ride. And I shouldn't have done that. I should not have done that. So greed is what cost me giving this back. Now, I'm watching this on a 60-minute chart. So I'm not seeing all of this. If I'm watching all of this, yeah, I probably would have taken my trade off. But that would have helped me, save some of my profit here. But on multiple trades, it would have taken me out of the trade either before it worked or before I got maximum profit. So missing out on this is fine. I give up one to save 3 or 4. And that's pretty much what I'm doing. But I'm just mad at myself for not taking it all off here because it was before 11. Okay, it was before 11 o'clock. Why not? Okay, why not take this off and then wait and see if we get another setup? That would have been the smartest thing to do. But I didn't do it, and I made that mistake. And that's that. But we still locked in 40.91.77. I made back my loss from yesterday, that bonehead stuff I was doing. And I locked in today, did what I was supposed to do. We back on track. So I hope you guys had a great day. And be safe this afternoon, tonight. And we're going to get back at this thing in the morning and try to make this week a good week, good, strong week. So remember, if you're interested, the sign-up's going to be on the website here later on this evening. If you got any questions, email me, ed@averagejoetrader.com, and we'll go from there.